Hello, all. Welcome to another Sunday magical service.
Hi, everyone.
I hope you guys can hear us all, that we're not too loud or too quiet.
Hopefully it's fine.
All right. There we go. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, these mics.
You mean check?
Yeah,
Check,
I
check.
think we're good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Hello. Eric Y. Okay. Welcome back to another beautiful Sunday service. Let me switch this really quick. Hello from Monday morning. Ooh, there you go. Mondays are great too. I love my days with the moon.
Fancy table. It's a bar, actually. It's pretty cool. It's a fold-out bar.
Yeah, I think one of the fun things about doing this is the set design. We're always looking for cool, occult, witchy looking stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Dang it, engagement bait pulled me out of lurk mode. That's right. Hi, Chewy. Nice to see you. Yeah, so welcome to another Sunday service. We've got a lot that's going on in the sky this week. The energies are switching up a little bit. So I think last week when we talked about Sunday service that we were looking at a lot of soft, wise, patriarchal energy. We're moving out of that this week. I think I forecasted a little bit of healing for this past week, and I hope everybody was able to find that healing. So we're going to approach things a little bit differently today. We're going to start with a guided meditation or guided hypnosis session to kind of set ourselves up for the mood of the service, to kind of feel that solar energy. But before we do that, I'm going to go over our altar setup just for anybody that's following along at home that maybe is trying to put together an altar. Because it's a Sunday, we want to place gold on the altar. Obviously, gold is rather expensive, so make do with what you can. I use this gold-plated little dish right here. It was gifted to me. But if you have any kind of gold, even if it's gold-plated or just colored gold, you want to put it on the altar for the sun. And then you're going to have your hermetic elements set up, right? So your incense is going to represent air. Here we have a clay pot filled with kosher salt. Why kosher salt? Well, because it's blessed. It's about almost the same as holy water. It's blessed by a rabbi. And this is representing our earth element. Here we have consecrated water. You can get holy water at a botanica or from a church, or you can make it yourself. Occultists are famous for using moon water, lunar water. You make it on a full moon, leave the water out overnight, or you can just consecrate any distilled natural spring water or collect water from a sacred site. There's a lot of sacred waters probably in your neck of the woods. We know when we like to travel, we like to find sacred healing springs, collect water and bring it home.
We do.
Yes. And then your candles are going to represent your fire. So you've got your four elements there. From there, your altar setup is basically your own design.
Right.
I like to use the censer. I think the censer is an important tool when you are cleansing and purifying, especially when you're dealing with spirits, as a kind of slept-on weapon that I don't think enough magicians have in their arsenal. So if you can afford a censer at some point, you'd put your purifying incense in there, and you'd sit in conjuration. And we always hold the censer with the undominant hand. Whatever the undominant hand is, it is thought by the mystery religions that the undominant hand was the one that was untainted by ambition and human passion, and that made the undominant hand more sacred. So when you're dealing with sacred or holy objects, you use your undominant hand. with that being said, I think we're going to start with a little bit of our guided hypnosis session. Before we start, I'm going to teach you guys a meditation. This comes from the Buddhist practice. You guys are probably familiar with it if you've ever taken any kind of meditation class. Alternate nostril breathing. And you're going to, if you're a man, you're going to take your right ring finger, and you're going to put it on your left nostril. And for women, it's going to be reversed, right? And you're going to inhale. Oh, wait, no, I got that messed up. I got it backwards. Okay. If you're a man, you're going to take your left ring finger, put it on your right nostril, inhale gently through that one. And then when you exhale, you're going to switch hands to the other nostril and exhale hard. And as you're doing this, you're going to imagine your prana channels that are coming from your nostrils. They go up sort of into your brain and then down the center of your body, down to your root chakra, your genitals, and you're going to circulate this air. So on the inhale, you are purifying, and on the exhale, you are exhaling out all the dirt. And we're going to start off with a little bit of that. As we're doing this, one of the things that we're going to be visualizing is hot liquid gold coming in through the nostril, and when we are exhaling through our nostrils, we're visualizing black dross coming out.
And
black
for
sludge.
women, it's going to be the
opposite side.
Okay, so we're breathing in through the right,
uh-huh.
out through the left, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just going to do that 3 times together, and then we're going to go into our guided hypnosis. And this just kind of purifies us, cleanses us. What should you do with your tongue while you're breathing? Follow your heart. You can put it on the roof of your mouth. That kind of helps. All right. So in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Now we're going to breathe in through both of our nostrils, very deep. Breathe in the sigil of the sun, the gold. Let it wash through your entire body as we exhale. And so the point of this exercise, as we go through this guided hypnosis, this guided meditation, we start off our journey with this, is when we are working with these archetypes, we are trying to identify ourselves, noetically identify, intellectually with our souls, our bodies, and our minds. We are becoming like the sun. In this way, the sun can communicate with us, can purify us, and we can become it. So we're going to begin with our guided hypnosis session. You're going to sit in your chair, feet planted on the ground, or maybe you're in a meditation position. That works as well. You're going to breathe in deep through your nose and out. In and out. You're going to start relaxing, letting your muscles relax, letting your body relax. You're going to start feeling a warm, tingling sensation on the top of your head. And that sensation is going to start spreading downwards and downwards, down to your ears. As that warm, tingling sensation gets to about your eyes, your eyelids start getting heavy, heavier and heavier. So heavy. as you breathe in and out. In and out. It's going to move down to your cheeks and your jaw and the tension begins to release. Your jaw loosens up. You may notice your mouth getting dry. You may want to swallow. You can go ahead and do that. This is perfectly natural. It's perfectly normal. It means that this process is working. And that relaxed sensation, it's moving downwards to your shoulder. Down through your arms. And your chest begins to well in and out, deeper and deeper. As you drift downwards, into yourself. In and out. And as it gets deeper and deeper, that sensation of relaxation, of tingling, of warmth that goes down to your stomach, into your waist, into your hips. So you breathe in and out. In and out. You're relaxing, progressively relaxing, as it spreads down to your thighs, to your knees, down to your legs, and it's moving slowly, so slowly. And we're going to start counting down from 5 to 1. And when we hit 1, you are going to enter into a deep trance. As that sensation, it becomes overwhelming. 5, you feel relaxed, calm, safe, secure. 4, descending downwards. 3, approaching the threshold. 2, so relaxed, so comfortable. And 1, deep sleep. You have now entered the threshold into a deep state of trance. Here we find calm, here we find relaxation. Find safety, and with your permission, we're going to identify ourselves with soul on this Sunday. We're going to begin scanning our bodies for any tension, any pain, any darkness. We're going to identify where that is in our bodies, in our minds, in our chest. You breathe in and out. In and out. And above your head, you're going to visualize or imagine. You may be able to feel it. There's the sigil of the sun. It is a circle with a dot in the center. And the sigil of the sun, it radiates pure golden light. And we're going to let that pure golden light and that sigil descend through the top of our heads into our minds. And as it descends into our minds, is overwhelmed with light, with gold, as it casts illumination. Now those golden rays, they descend down into our bodies, into our chest, with the sigil of the sun. It illuminates our hearts, illuminates our bodies, and any tension, any pain, any anxiety, any stress, any darkness or sadness is cast away by the golden light of the sigil of the sun. And then that sigil and those golden rays, they pulse through our body, through our bloodstream, and we notice our vital life force, the red blood, as it becomes liquid gold. And we radiate that gold. We radiate that vitality. And we let the sun purify us, cleanse us, illuminate us. And your body, it may feel heavy, so heavy, as it becomes weighty like solid gold. As you have identified with the gold, and you let the sun into you. And we're going to let that impress on our minds, on our bodies, on our souls. As we start ascending back up. I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when we hit 5, we will be awake out of our trance, purified, and ready to receive the wisdom of the sun. 1, we begin ascending to the surface. 2, identified with gold, we have become gold. 3, the sigil of the sun is impressed in our bodies and our minds. 4, we're aware of the room as we approach the threshold of the surface. And 5, eyes open, wide awake. Welcome back. All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Dr. Stone.
Yeah, what's up?
So we're going to move forward. We're going to begin our physical purification. Remember, we wash our hands in fire, and then we rub our consecrated water on our energy centers. We'll start with our purifying incense using myrrh. You can use any incense that you associate with purification. I'm glad you enjoyed the meditation. And this is something, whenever you're working with an archetype, a god form, a planet, you can assume the qualities of its associated metals to help with your identification. It's a process known as theurgy, where we become like the god form. All right, so wash our hands with fire. Burn ourselves with water. I hereby purify, sublimate, and elevate my mind, my body, my soul to you, O Master of the universe, you Creator of all, you, O Cosmos, Il, Eshir, Il. I hereby sublimate, purify, consecrate your mind, your body, and your soul under the authority of the Master of all, under the authority of the Creator of the universe, under the authority of the cosmos. Il Eshir Il. And once we are purified, we can begin our offering to Soul. You light your solar incense. We have selected sandalwood. I consecrate this to you, O Soul, to you and your spirits, to you and your sphere, under the authority of the Master of all, under the authority of the Creator. Il. Please, O Soul, accept this offering. We will now begin our invocation. You who are the root of heaven and are above all the stars and planets, holy and honored, I ask that you heed my requests and grant me the grace of love. I conjure you by the one who granted you light and life. You are the light of the world. I invoke you by all your names. Yazimiz Sol Mahir Leus Auras. You are the light of the world and its brightness. You exist in the middle of the planets. You are the cause of generation in the world. By your power and heat made sublime in your position, I ask by your splendor and power that you deign to help me in this way and the rest of the earth. Place us in a noble and sublime position so that we may have dominion and nobility, participate in the same qualities that you, who are the Lord of the other planets and stars, since they receive their light and brightness from you. I ask you, who are the root of the entire firmament, that you have pity on us and note our prayers and requests. O Soul, great illuminator, he who casts light to shadow, he who combusts, he who is the presenter of riches, he who is the great king, the root of the entire firmament. O Soul, we ask that you guide this service today. We come together to celebrate you on this beautiful Sunday. We ask that you help protect us through the course of our magical week, that you help cast light to shadow, that you illuminate our minds, that you illuminate our souls and our spirits, so that we may become a living example of your powers here in the material. O great Soul, thank you for granting us entrance into your sphere, and thank you for the wisdom as you have guided us through our past weeks and continue to guide us through the forthcoming week. Mote it be.
So it is. Tonight's also Hecate's night.
Yes.
So
we're going to get into a little astrological forecast, but Dr. Stone wanted to talk a little bit about Hecate's night tonight, though.
November 16th is the day of Hecate's feast. So if any of you are devotees of her, you already know this likely, but tonight's a great night to do any rededication or dedication work to her, just FYI. So
Yes, so take advantage of tonight with Hecate if you are a devotee. So let's look at the astrological forecast. So we've gone through a lot of masculine energy these past few weeks, right? And a lot of initiation. The planets were kind of coinciding with what Scorpio season normally is, but thankfully we are getting out of Scorpio season at the end of this week, and the feminine energies are starting to aspect and take over. So I was wondering if you were going to bring it up. Awesome. So we're going to start out today. You can see down here on the border of Scorpio and Sagittarius, all these planets are still all kind of hanging out with each other. Where did my...
What do you need?
I had a...
Marker?
There it is. I got it.
Okay.
So you see right here, Mercury has entered retrograde, so it's going back into Scorpio, and Mars is splitting up with it. They're still in conjunction today, but this week they're leaving that conjunction. So we've spent the past, I think, 2 or 3 weeks with them in conjunction, which has been a really interesting time. It's why a lot of maybe struggles and turmoils have manifested, but it's also a really positive thing when we're talking about the process of initiation, and if we utilize it for ourselves. We can see the moon's up here in Libra tonight. This is going to be entering this right here, but Venus has caught up into this conjunction and these aspects right here. And so Venus is going to start aspecting. You're going to notice what we were talking about last week, where we had this beautiful trine of wise patriarchal energy between Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn in the water signs. You're going to notice Venus is starting to slide into this trine. So Venus is going to start aspecting these same energies around, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's right. That's when Venus is starting to slip into here. So there's a few different elections that I found. There were 2 big elections. Wednesday night is going to be pretty incredible. Let me find it right here. So the moon is going to enter into a conjunction with Venus and Mercury. Mercury, Venus, the moon, they're all going to be conjunct with each other, which means they're going to be powering each other, right? The sun is also going to be a part of this conjunction. So that's a stellium right there. That's pretty powerful. And this is all happening in Scorpio. So this happening in Scorpio means that everything's going to be kind of like, you can think of Scorpio as almost a tortured bohemian artist within this aspect. So very passionate, artistic, intellectual kind of lover. And this is what we are going to be seeing manifest within this stellium on Wednesday night. But this stellium, this conjunction between these 4 planets, they're going to also be in trine with Saturn and Jupiter. So there's a lot of power that's going on that night. I've specifically identified this night with, if you're going to be working on Wednesday night, this is a good time in order to do spells to actualize our position as magicians, as in like grand magi. The energy that we're looking at right here is really the archetypal magician. I'm talking about the magician guard from the tarot. This is a synthesis of basically every single aspect of the self into this grand creative act, and that's thanks to Venus and the moon coming into this conjunction on Wednesday night. So Wednesday night is a great night in order to do spells or work to expand your own personal power, or to make archetypal assumptions into, a master magician, master witch, master wizard, whatever it is you're looking for. After that, the next thing that I've identified as a good election is going to be Friday night. And Friday night, Mercury is going to be in this trine with Saturn and Jupiter. Venus is in that Jupiter-Saturn, Mercury conjunct with Venus. So this is going to be a good night for love spells. But the love spells that we're talking about is, like I said, this is going to be that kind of like bohemian love story, that kind of thing. So it might be a good time to either consecrate a art project, maybe start one, create a talisman for an art project, or if you're going through a relationship, this is a very passionate sexual love, but it is sexuality of the mind, right? It's not so much a physical sexuality. And this is because this is happening in Scorpio. So I think with all that being said, let me look at my notes right here. So the theme this week is going to be the Magician card, right? It is the totality of the Magician as an archetype as these planets come into harmony with each other. The Magician as an archetype is a philosopher, a king. They are disciplined, but they are also an artistic, creative force, right? They are such a great philosopher, such a great ruler, king, like we're talking about, like a mage king, that they are able to pull from the creation and make things manifest. And this is one of the purest forms of artistry. It's the highest forms of artistry. And so this is going to be the energy that we're feeling this week and what we might want to be aligning ourselves with, right? When I'm talking about expanding your power, it's identifying with that Magician card. So maybe we can meditate on the Magician card of the tarot. Wednesday and Thursday are also going to be the new moon, and this is further pointing to stepping into a new role or function as a magician. This is the Wednesday night election. While it's going through it's starting the new moon cycle. If you want to do a spell to become, the most actualized, integrated version of the Magician card, that's going to be the perfect night for it. So the patriarchs are all in a trine harmony with each other: Sol, Jupiter, and Saturn. And then I think Saturday night is the only bad aspect that we're going to see, as the moon and Saturn, they enter a bad aspect with each other. However, Saturday night is when we're entering into Sagittarius and exiting Scorpio season. So I think given what we've experienced this past month or throughout Scorpio season, where it's been this like really kind of rough initiation, a lot of chaos, a lot of what would you say? Drama, vengeance, anger, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That we went through that healing week last week, and now we're stepping into, okay, now I'm stepping out as the Magician, right? So I think with that being said, we're going to do a few readings that are related to this aspect, what we've identified in the planets. So our first reading is from Asclepius, part 4. This is a conversation between Hermes Trismegistus and Asclepius, his disciple and student. Why then, O Trismegistus, was it necessary that man should be placed in the world instead of where God is, to dwell with him in supreme beatitude? Hermes says, Thy question is natural, O Asclepius, and I pray God to assist me in replying to it. For everything depends upon his will, especially those great things which are at this moment the subject of our inquiry. Listen then to me, Asclepius. The Lord and author of all things, whom we call God, brought forth a second God, visible and sensible. I describe him thus, not because he himself has sensibility, for this has produced this unique being who holds the first rank among creatures and the second after his own child. He willed then that another should be able to contemplate this being so great and so perfect, whom he had drawn forth from himself. And to this end he created man, endowed with reason and intelligence. The will of God is absolute accomplishment, could not apprehend all things unless enveloped by the world. He gave to man a body for a dwelling place. He willed that man should have two natures. He united them intimately and blended them in just proportion. Thus he formed man of spirit and of body, of an eternal nature and of a mortal nature, so that a creature thus constituted, he might, by means of his double origin, admire and adore that which is celestial and that which is eternal, cultivate and govern that which is earth and water, but of things coming from man, which are in him or depending on him, such as the culture of the soil, the pastures, the construction of buildings, of ports, navigation, commerce, and those reciprocal exchanges which are the strongest bond among men. Earth and water form a part of the world, and this terrestrial part is sustained by the arts and sciences, without which the world would be imperfect in the eyes of God. For For that which God wills is necessary, and the effect accompanies his will, nor can it be believed that anything which has seemed good to him can cease to seem good to him, because from the beginning he knew what should be and what should please him. So this excerpt right here from Asclepius is basically talking about the dual nature of us, and it might sound a little Judeo-Christian, right? Because that is what Hermes is explaining to Asclepius right there is very familiar with those who know Genesis, right? It's that man is created in God's image. Right here he is talking about the Hermeticists. They believed in a monistic creator God. They believed in many gods, but they believed that there was a supreme one, right? And this emerges within Platonism. It emerges all over the classical world. In most of the pagan religions and pagan philosophies, there is some kind of eternal being. So I think in this, they're calling it God, but it's a monistic oneness, right? And so Hermes is relating something that we see in many different religions, in many different creation myths, that man is a little god, is a second god, right? That man is both mortal and eternal, right? So the spirit there is the eternal nature, and the body is the mortal nature. And Hermes says that these are created in equal proportion, right? But what are we inclining ourselves to as we are living our lives? Are we looking towards our eternal side, or are we looking towards our side that decays? And this is kind of the question of the Hermeticist. This is the question of the magician. What are you paying more attention to, right? Are you paying attention to the thing that is going to die, or are you paying attention to the immortal part of yourself, the eternal part of yourself, your little god inside? So with that being said, we're going to move on to another reading. This is from the Kore Cosmo. And the Kore Cosmo is a conversation between Isis and Horus, her son. O my illustrious son, if thou wilt know anything further, ask it for me. And Horus said, Revered mother, I would fain know how royal souls are born. And Isis answered, Herein, my son Horus, lies the distinctive character of royal souls. There are in the universe 4 regions governed by a fixed and immutable law: heaven, the aether, the air, and the most holy earth. Above in heaven dwell the gods, ruled as are all the rest, by the maker of this universe. In the aether are the stars, governed by the great fire, the sun. In the air are the souls of the genii, governed by the moon. Upon earth are men and other animals, governed by the soul who, for the time, is their king. For the gods themselves engendered those who shall be kings befitting the terrestrial race. Princes are the issue of kings, and he who is most kingly is a greater king than the rest. The sun, nearer to God than is the moon, is greater and stronger than she, and to him she is subject as much by rank as by power. The king is the last of the gods and the first of men. So long as he sojourns upon the earth, his divinity is concealed, but he possesses something which distinguishes him from other men and approximates him to God. The soul in him comes from a loftier region than that from which descends the souls of common men. Souls destined to reign upon the earth descend thither for 2 causes. There are those who in former lives have lived blameless and who merit apotheosis. For such as these, royalty is a preparation for the divine state. Again, there are holy souls who, for some slight infringement of the interior and divine law, receive in royalty a penance whereby the suffering and shame of incarnation are mitigated. The condition of these in taking a body resembles not that of others. They are as blessed as when they were free. As to the various characters of these kings, the variety is not in souls, for all are royal, but it is due to the nature of the angels and genii who assist them. For souls destined to such offices are not without ministers and escort. Heavenly justice, even while exiling them from the abodes of the blessed, treats them as their nature befits. When then, O my son Horus, the ministering angels and genii appointed are warlike, the soul in their charge takes that character, forgetting its own, or rather laying it aside until some future change of condition. If the guardian angels and genii are of a gentle order, then the soul follow its path in peace. If they are friends of judgment, the soul loves to judge. If they are musicians, then the soul sings. If they love truth, the soul is that of a philosopher. Thus, the souls necessarily follow the teaching of their guardians. Falling into human bodies, they forgo their proper estate, and while exiled from it, they approximate to those intelligences by whom they have been embodied. Thine explanation is complete, my mother, said Horace, but thou hast not yet informed me in what manner these noble souls are born. So this is kind of a lot. You can get a little lost in the trees. They're talking about how kings are born, right? But that is the surface level exoteric interpretation. We need to pay attention to what exactly constituted these noble souls as kings. And it was that they have these entourage of spirits that are guiding them towards apotheosis. And apotheosis is basically the identification of our immortality. It's what happens in the process of initiation, right? And so what we're seeing in this excerpt of the Kore Cosmo is Isis is basically explaining what these noble souls are. And these noble souls are the people that are on this path. These noble souls are the ones that have been led towards something greater, towards higher, something higher. And she explains in it why this happened. She explains that that it has to do with reincarnation. That in a past life, that these souls, they either got so close that they've incarnated onto this path. The reason that they're pulled towards seeking these mysteries, these truths, these occult and esoteric secrets is because they have these spirits that guide them. You know, they have genies, they have angels that bring them onto this path. She also says that there is another reason that these souls exist and are incarnated as men. And it is because they were already deified. They had already reached their immortal nature. They did something, and they had to come back here in order to fix that, right? So she's talking about why we are here, why we are on this path, and what the nature of our souls are, of the noble soul, right? If you are on this path, if you are practicing magic, if you are seeking this truth, if you are seeking this wisdom, if you are searching for your spiritual home, you are part of these noble souls. You've been here many times before. You have gotten to a point where you're ready for this apotheosis. In your journey, it could be fulfilled in this lifetime or within a few lifetimes. But the fact that you are here, the fact that you have been brought onto this path by a plethora of spirits, means that your soul is already predisposed to apotheosis, to the actualization. It's talking right here, Isis is talking about the initiate soul as a noble soul, as a royal soul, right? The identification with the king. And I think that's why we identify with the sun every Sunday, right? Because the sun is this archetype of this grand, noble king. And that's who we are as magicians, as wizards, as magus. We are identified with the eternal. The reason that we are able to talk to spirits, we are able to talk to deities, we are able to look inward and outward and actualize magic is because our souls are close. We have been brought by this entourage of spirits. And so, with that being said, I'm going to move on to one more excerpt. O most wise Horus, I am initiated into the mysteries of the immortal nature. I walk in the ways of the truth, and I will reveal all to thee without the least omission. And first I will tell thee that water, being a body without reason, composed of myriads of fluid particles, differs from the soul, which is, my son, a personal entity, the royal work of the hands and of the mind of God, abiding herself in intelligence. That which proceeds from unity, and not from multiplicity, cannot mingle with other things. And in order that the soul may be joined to the body, God subjects this harmonious union to necessity. Souls do not then return confusedly, nor by chance, into one in the same place, but each is dispatched into the condition which belongs to her. And this is determined by that which the soul experiences while yet she is in the tenement of the body, loaded with a burden contrary to her nature. Here, therefore, this comparison. O beloved Horus, suppose that there would be shut up in the same prison men, eagles, doves, swans, hawks, swallows, sparrows, flies, serpents, lions, leopards, wolves, dogs. And at the same moment, all the creatures should be liberated. All at once they would escape. The men would seek cities and public spaces, the eagles, the aether, where nature teaches them to live. the doves the lower air, the hawks the higher expanse, the swallows would repair to places frequented by men, and the sparrows to the orchards. The lions and leopards would flee to the mountains, the wolves to the solitudes, and the dogs would follow the track of men, conducted by their own interior discernment into the abode befitting them. Even so, every soul, whether human or inhabiting the earth under other conditions, knows whither she ought to go, unless indeed some son of Typhon should pretend that a bull may subsist in the waters or a turtle in the air. If then, even when immersed in flesh and blood, souls do not infringe the law of order, although under penance for union with the body is a penance, how much more shall they conform thereto when delivered from their bonds and set at liberty? So this is an incredible passage, because Isis is basically talking about what happens in the process of liberation. What happens when you're liberated? What happens when you're initiated, right? So she compares it to a prison. If everybody's caged up in a prison, the men go where they're supposed to go after they are liberated. They go back to the cities. The sparrows go back to the air. The wolves go back out to the woods because it is in their nature. So when we are liberated, where do we go? When we go through our initiations, where do we go? Do we seek the higher mysteries? Do we seek apotheosis? Do we seek truth? Do we seek wisdom? Because what we are seeking, what we are inclined to, is the natural place for our souls. You can discern what is for your soul by what it seeks. Within this is something incredibly profound. Isis is indicating to us we can see where we are headed, where we belong, by what we seek, by what we return to when we are liberated, when we are initiated. And if we return to the higher mysteries, if we get liberated, initiated, and we get put on this path, and we keep walking down this path, it's because that's where we belong. We are headed home together. People of our ilk and of our nature, this is our soul's predisposition. This is where we are at home. On this path, seeking the gods, seeking apotheosis, seeking eternity. That is where we belong. That's the reason that we're on this path. Because when we were liberated, when we were awakened, when we were initiated, we went to where we naturally belong. So, that being said, this is the eternal magician. This is something we should be carrying with us in the rest of the week. So we wake up to what we actually are, why we're magicians, why we practice magic, why we communicate with deity, why we meditate, why we pray, why we go the extra mile, why we are not satisfied with a half religion, half belief, why we seek experience. And we'll carry this with us for the rest of the week under the wisdom of Hermes Trismegistus and the great Mother Isis.
Absolutely. I think that it's also like very common for people to kind of be into this path and then something pulled them away, like especially in the younger years, you know, and then you keep coming back to it. I think that's a really common experience. You find yourself constantly pulled back to it, right? I don't know, that's been my case since I was a little thing. So that passage was great.
Yeah.
Just reconfirms what I already know, which is that if you're doing this stuff and you're really doing it, you're really about it, then it's where you're supposed to be. It is. 100%.
Yeah, it's easy for the self-doubt to creep in because of the environment that we live in. Our path has always been kind of frowned upon by, institutions and the general population, it's easy to, kind of slip into like, am I doing the right thing, But then we look at our esoteric literature, at the literature of our tradition, and like this is high philosophy. This is our spiritual text.
Great.
And this is something a lot of us believe, a lot of us have direct experience with. It's
Right.
this idea of reincarnation, and that our souls are inclined towards something. We have a predisposition, and that's why we're here. Most of us on this path, there's very few of us that were born into this path. They exist out there, but most of us are called to it, and we believe we were called to it for a reason.
Right. Yeah. And I actually, like, when I was shuffling, one of the cards flipped out and landed on the floor, and it's the Knight of Pentacles. That's like fitting. So it's slow and steady. This is not something that's overnight, right? You're not going to be like having so many experiences all at once, right? But it's like a slow and steady, like a drip feed of it that keeps you kind of coming back and seeing it. But it can be deceiving in the way that, you think it's just like a one-off. That's why writing it down when things happen is so important, so that you can be reminded of your experiences, like in writing, right? So that's why I know that both of us always write down the things that occur, so that we know, that this wasn't just in our imagination, but it is a slow, steady, process of acquiring knowledge, right? Over and over again. It's never done either, I don't think.
So yeah, we're open for the psychic hour right now. Melissa has a question.
I don't see it.
She says, in the spiritual awakening episode, she wants some clarification. You mentioned in there that women have awakenings in their 40s. Is that correct?
Yes, and actually the scientific data also shows that too. It's about like 20 to 22 years old, or 40. So, but that's like give or take some years. But yes, and I think the reason, personally, I think after doing a lot of research on it, the reason for that would be because of the roles that we have, to play, that are thrown on us by society. Like, we have to do the things. We have to go to school. We have to work. We have to be mothers. Maybe not, but most of us do. And have families and, all that stuff. It gets in the way of these things happening, or having the time to actually, experience it the way it should be experienced. So for me, it definitely hit again at 40. Definitely, like around 38. Actually, when I died, I guess would be the time I was 38. So that was, I don't know what else you could call that, but a huge awakening, because I actually was able to see it and experience it with medical documentation. So I know that it's not just my imagination, which is important for me because I need data. Like I need that. So yeah, it definitely happens like that. And I think it's just because at around 40, in our mid years, we get to have some break from all of the things we have to constantly do, right? And we have some actual time for ourselves. So, and all of the scientific research on it, which there's a lot, actually. You just have to be careful with how you search it. The phrases that they use are not spiritual awakening always, but it can be. You can start there, but there's a lot of stuff. If you go on ResearchGate or academia.edu, you can see that data is pretty clear. It's really at the beginning of young adulthood or in midlife for women anyways. I'm not sure about men. I haven't researched that, to be honest.
I think it makes sense to me, because I think, you get the prescription for happiness, and you don't really get a chance to breathe in the beginning of your life.
Right.
Like, from the time you're 5 years old, you're going to school, and it's getting beat into you, you need to do well at school so you can get a job, so you can get married, so you can have kids, and you get the prescription for happiness. And then after you get all the things around middle age,
you're like, what?
You got the family, you got the house, and then you look at yourself and you're like,
I'm still empty.
I'm still something's missing. And that's that naturally people are going to start looking, inside then, because the external stuff is all taken care of now.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, why does it feel like something's missing still? And
Right.
then that's when they go through their spiritual self-discovery. At least I think so. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct. I definitely think that that's true. Like, you get the picket fence, the house, the white picket fence, and the kids and the cars and all the things, but yet you're still like, is this it? That's all? This is not what it was cracked up to be. you know, like how were my parents okay with this? Like I'm pretty bored. I'm pretty unfulfilled here, even though I have all the things. And then you start, I don't know, there's some guilt that comes with that too. I think people think that they're being selfish or whatever. But I would say to disregard those and just keep seeking what you're missing, you know, which is, I believe, really, truly is a connection, your understanding your connection to the divine, which is not through an intermediary, but a direct connection because you are it and it is you. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Tasher brings up men historically were early 30s, like Jesus and Siddhartha Gautama, who's the Gautama Buddha.
Thanks for that.
Both early 30s. So there are people that are called an early age, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so those would be your like advanced mystics, the people that are like career priests and stuff. But for a lot of us, you know, we do the worldly stuff, we do the material stuff, and then we discover our spirituality along the way. Right. But yeah, there's definitely, you know, there are people that are born as that kind of person.
Right. I think that we're all
mystic.
I think we're all like, if we're on this path, we all had it at birth, but it just was suppressed because it's not normal, right? Like it's not normal, whatever the hell that means. But it's not. You know, people say you're weird or whatever they say, and like you suppress it, and that's typically what happens, especially in my case, like seeing things, hearing things from an early age, like that will get you labeled as schizophrenic, right? So that's not good. So you suppress it, you don't talk about it, and you realize real quick that you're kind of the only person that experiences things like that, usually, until you are able to talk about it, and then you can find your tribe of people. But that's usually not till later, when you stop caring so much what other people think about you, which is really important, actually. But that comes with experience and starting to realize how other people don't have their shit together either. So it's like, why am I listening? Why do I care so much? But yeah, that's definitely, and I think men too, in the 30s, like you're saying, that's true, because men are usually in the career field earlier, right? Like doing that, and then they have like more freedom from things.
They're not as traditionally tied to the homemaking as women were. I mean, it's different now. It's a little more, you know, like basically all households are two-income households these days. But historically, like men had a little more freedom to, you know, go do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's still kind of the thing, but you know, this more interesting. So, that's interesting. So I'm just looking at like the collective here. It's 7 of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, it's about like they struggle to keep learning and keep expanding your knowledge base, because the payoff is great, right? The payoff is great at the end, but that's not even what we're looking for. There's no end really in sight, but it's just the riches that you acquire along the way are well worth the struggle, right? Definitely. I'm not seeing any. Is there any? So if anybody has any questions.
Yeah.
Cool.
I tried so hard to be a good Christian for so long, and I just don't care anymore.
Good.
Yeah, it's an impossible standard.
I mean, look at have you, I'm sure, like read it. It's a mess. It's like, it's not, I mean, honestly, like what it's put out there as is this love and light thing, but in the reality of it, it's not. And
there's a dissonance, but I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you don't. I will do it.
Okay.
Okay. He's not against this, but I am. I'm against organized religion 100%. I have trauma from it.
Christianity, yeah.
Not so much. I like the idea that they promote. I do not like how people act it out, because it is not congruent. It's incongruent with what it says. And, you know, honestly, if I hear someone start talking about Jesus, I'm out, because I know already you're probably not a nice person. Like, I hate to say it, but it's true. I'll say it. Abammon does not believe this, but I do. So don't come at him. Feel free to come at me. But I grew up in Southern Baptist Church, you know, and I was terrified for the longest time about going to hell and all that stuff. You know, I watched that, Left Behind movie as a kid. Terrified me. Gave me separation anxiety. Like, I mean, come on. Like, that's... Fear and holding things over someone's head is not the way to go. This is all about your own personal agency here, and that's why like this path is so for me, because I like to follow myself, not other people.
Yeah.
Personally, you know.
I think one of the things, because there's the Christianity that we're exposed to culturally, and then when you look at the church fathers, the mystics, the early theologians, that Christianity makes a lot more sense than what we are exposed to culturally. And it's very similar to what we believe in esoterically, because Christianity was developed in Alexandria. Its early theology, its early philosophy was developed in Alexandria, right next to Judaism, right next to Hermeticism, right next to Neoplatonism. All these things had an influence on each other. And that's one of the reasons that, we're reading this Hermetic text today, which is an Egyptian text, right? From, I think, the 3rd century BC. So this is about 300 years before Christianity, but a lot of the language seems a little familiar to those who have been exposed to Christianity. Mm-hmm. It's because all of these ideas were circulating. These religions influenced each other, and they built off of each other's philosophies and that kind of thing. And so I think when you look at early Christianity, before it turns into a control mechanism and fear-mongering, it makes a lot of sense. And that's where I think they have a lot of wisdom. I'm a huge fan of St. Augustine, of the early church fathers, and I get a lot of inspiration from them personally. But it's very sad to see people practice the exoteric mainline expression of Christianity, because I feel like they've kind of warped their tradition. But you could say that about any of the institutional religions. Islam is a beautiful religion when it's practiced from a place of compassion and peace, and we obviously know that's not how a majority of people practice it. And the same with Judaism. Judaism, I think, is probably my favorite religion out of all the world's religions, and unfortunately it doesn't get practiced too authentically and on the surface level.
Yeah, definitely not, because it's become this mechanism of control.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like, let's scare people into thinking that your immortal soul is at risk here, unless you abide by our set of rules. And it's very clear to see that all of those rules were, made about the time that they were in at the moment, right? They weren't they don't apply to us now, at all. They don't. But we keep making it up and cherry picking. If you were to follow that doctrine that's in the Bible, the one that we have now anyways, you'd be a terrible person. It's terrible, the stuff in there. So, you're gonna stone your kids to death because they talk back to you? Really, come on. We cherry pick it. And the original texts were not like that. They didn't have that stuff in it. So it's been just messed with too much, So you have to seek your own understanding. I think it's a good foundation to have, right? If you can get over the guilt that comes with it.
Yeah, that's where it's most damaging.
That
took me a decade to untangle.
It took me death.
Yeah.
Death.
Yeah. So Jose wants to know, he saw something in the corner of his eye on Tuesday. He wants to know what it was.
Where were you?
I saw it on his right when he was in bed, 1.5 above the ground, a blurry square looking like a face.
Just peripheral vision only. When you looked, it's gone.
It's peripheral.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what your state of mind was. He was in bed.
Yeah. You're going to bed, waking up.
Yeah. If you're falling asleep when the shadow people start bleeding in.
Yeah. The things we just can't see usually. Did it make you feel a certain way? Because I think that the number one tell on anything that you see is how you feel as you see it, right? If it makes you, I get scared all the time, right? I'm terrified whenever I see anything unexpected. But after that startling kind of calms down, then I can tell and say.
He says, yes, only Perry.
Yeah, okay. So, and this is in your house, I'm assuming, and this is where you've lived for a while. You've never seen this before? This is new? What is it?
He was looking at his cell phone and he saw.
Oh, okay. So a lot of the time, if you're hyper focused on your phone, that's I noticed that for me, a lot of times that stuff pops up is when I'm hyper focused on something else. scared to death. Yeah. Well, join the club because I'm always scared to death. Seriously, I asked Abammon, I'm like, what was that? I saw something. Like, I'm always freaking out. I've been seeing stuff my entire life and I still get scared. I would not worry about it too much though, but it's new. Okay, so let's see. Let me see. What do you say?
Yeah. It is an indicator that he did see something.
Oh,
that it was a...
Checking that out.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to step off screen to check my
Oh,
occult
it's
methods.
looks like it's somebody that you know. Like, it looks like someone was checking in on you. That's what it looks like to me. Like someone was just checking up on you real quick. I feel like they don't like to scare it. Like, if it's somebody that was from the other side, right? Like, you know, I don't think those are common, honestly. But it looks like in this case it's somebody that has passed on and they were just checking in on you and they didn't want to scare you, so they, you know, were just out of view. Like, that's typical. I think that happens because they know that this scares the shit out of us. But I wouldn't be too worried about it. Or even, it could even have been, oh, wait a minute, what does that mean? Oh, actually, yeah, it's someone checking in on you.
He feels it in Tuesday also.
He feels it on Tuesday. I felt it on Tuesday. Like, look, so I got this. That's the 7 of Swords, right?
That's the 7 of Swords?
Uh-huh. Someone's checking in on you. Like, checking in on you? Like, checking to see what you're doing. And did you feel scared Tuesday also? What's that about? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, was your grandma scary? Like, were you concerned about her? Was she concerned about you? Was she concerned about your practices?
It wasn't his grandma.
It feels like somebody that's like kind of spying on you.
It's something astral.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like spying. It's not on the side.
Yeah, if it's a person, is it a person? It is a person. They're stuck.
Yeah. So
it's something that you know. Someone you know. It is not someone you know. It's someone that's tied to the property.
Ooh, yeah, no.
It is someone tied to the property.
Yeah, where are you? Are you in an apartment, a house? Like what? I mean, this is a. Ooh, yeah, it's like someone Oh, I just heard. They want to see what you're doing. Yeah, they want to see what you're doing in their, like in their space.
There's somebody stuck tied to the property that that's checking in on you.
Yeah, how long have you been living there? Nobody knows me.
Whatever it was, they're not related to you.
Yeah. This looks like somebody just being nosy and like kind of judgy.
It's his family's house.
Oh, well, okay, it's a house then, right? So property has history, right? Let's see. Ooh.
Remember what we were talking about on the last episode?
What?
About the Malaysian tribe where they said that the dead get stuck in the astral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like, did you feel like it was a male or female? Do you have an idea? Did you have an idea about that? Because I just got the Lovers and I'm not sure why I would get that for this. Like, is it somebody that has, that's weird. I see it. Like, I can see it like popping up. I see it laying there in bed. Laying on the bed and then like it pop up out of your...
Nothing like this has happened ever.
Yeah, well, guess what? It doesn't need to. Unfortunately, there's times where things just happen. I've lived in houses for years and nothing happened, and then all of a sudden it happens. The star. I would be looking at maybe somebody nearby in the neighborhood that passed away. Is there anybody that you know like that recently? Like, I feel like it's a busybody. Like a woman, like a busybody.
The face was square.
Uh-huh. Oh, they're gonna be distorted. Like FYI, if you ever see it, it doesn't look normal. Like they look, I don't know how to say, like a, like they look almost like drawings, I guess. Like
It wasn't sent to you.
no,
Nobody sent it to you.
Mm-mm.
It's something that's in the location. It's not related to you. It's
I guess that's I keep saying it's a woman though. Over and over again. Over and over again. Looks like it's a
it is
female.
the deceased. It is the. Hold on, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it is not deceased.
Mm-hmm. Is it a person
It's
astral
not the
traveling?
deceased.
Is it astral travel?
It's something astral.
Yeah, like I feel like someone's spying on you. Like I was saying, like a spying, seeing what you're doing. Who do you got in your life that's trying to sneak up on you? That's what I'm looking for. Like that, and like it seems like someone's looking, checking to see what you're doing, but it doesn't seem like they are mastering it yet quite. But how do you protect against that though?
Yeah, it's not human.
It doesn't matter if it's a person or not. I'm saying that somebody's trying to spy. Something is trying to spy. What kind of work are you doing? It's a work-related issue. What are you doing? What are you guys doing? It seems like, it feels like a nosy neighbor, but it's, like it's not in a person form, right? Like, okay. Again.
What is that?
King of Swords. Again, I got like 2
King of
times.
Swords?
So this is, what are you working? Are you doing any magic work? I feel like that's part of it. Let's see. Spy. What do? Pizza shop. No. This feels like, no, like not that kind of work. I meant like magic work. Are you doing anything?
Yeah, are you doing magic, Jose? No, nothing.
So that could bring it in, but it looks like it just someone just checking in.
It'd just be normal astral fauna.
Yeah,
It
they're
happens.
like the shadow people things. Like people
Yep.
see it all the time out the corner. It's always in the corner of the eye.
Well, it's specifically in that in between state. That's when it happens the most. Like the hypnagogic state, the sleep paralysis stuff. That's when these things bleed in. It was something that when me and Dr. Stone started working together, I was specifically trying to train her to be able to go into that state like in an instant, right? However, the experiment ended up deviating, right? in a massive way.
Yeah.
But there's just regular astral fauna that's all around us. And if you don't want it in your house, all you have to do is ward the house, consecrate the house. And astral fauna is really easy to get rid of.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a crazy spell or anything. You can just visualize like light exploding from you and it's gone,
Right.
But the thing is, astral fauna, they're like pests. They're like cockroaches, right? They just they show up.
They just like wander about and they happen upon somebody, and if that like they get anything from you, like fear or whatever, like then they will keep coming back,
Yeah, you don't want to. So the thing that the astral fauna like is they like you to exist in behavioral cycles, whether it's anger, fear, anxiety, that kind of stuff, and that's what they're coming for. So as long as you don't give it to them, then they really can't get anything from you. They're very weak, incredibly weak. It's incredibly easy to get rid of. All you just have to
talk to it like it's a
visualize
person.
yourself like exploding light out, and they're gone. You don't have to do any crazy spells or anything like that.
No, you just literally
Cleaning spell works. Yeah, in anything like that.
If that makes you feel better, totally fine. But personally, you can just that's your aid. It's your will that when we remove it. But if there's still curiosity there, like you want to possibly see it again, then that won't work. You got to actually really want it gone, right? So, but that's pretty common. I think most of us have seen those kinds of things, and they're a little shocking and disrupting, but it's not the end of the world. You'll be fine. I'm not seeing it coming to get you, anything like that. It's just curious, looking to see if there's anything to feed off of, right? It's like a nosy, pesty, like a pest, like a cockroach, like you said. Yeah, gross. I hate cockroaches so much. Ugh. Yeah, egg cleanings are great. They were Olympias. Yeah, right. Can be scary though. Can be scary.
Tasher has been unusually drawn towards Hecate recently after a few months of being very immersed in Isis. This seems like a very auspicious time to be working with her. Have you felt the same?
I mean, it's her night, right? Today.
Yeah,
especially.
so go ahead and yeah,
I mean, if
work
you
with her on tonight.
Yeah, if you feel like it, then that's why it's like that's the calling. I think. And Isis, that was my first. Isis was my first, and then it kind of evolved into Hecate for me. So that's really common. Also, those two are they're kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, they're so Apuleius in the Golden Ass, which is a very ancient novel. It's almost the Pinocchio story, but it's about the author going through an Isis initiation, and he identifies Isis with Hecate, and then you'll see Plutarch as on Isis and Osiris, he identifies Isis with Hecate. He says that the Egyptians or the Greeks call Isis Hecate or whatever. You'll also see in the Chaldean oracles, which is the masterpiece of theurgy that inspired the theurgists, they identify Hecate with the world soul. And in the Korikosmo, which is the Hermetic piece of literature, Isis is identified with the world soul. So they're very, very similar. I don't think that they're one-to-one the same, because Isis doesn't have the same chthonic associations that Hecate does. I would not use Isis to conjure up the spirits of the dead. I'd probably go to her husband for that. But they're very, very similar. They kind of bleed with each other, and they're under the archetype of the divine feminine. Not all goddesses are under that umbrella term, but Hecate and Isis specifically are.
Right.
So,
like the wrathful parts, the feminine parts, like all of it combined, right? Like it's all of the things. It's like being the total like it's the total, all of it. None of it's bad. Even the darker sides. And Hecate is more of the darker interpretation of it, right? Than Isis is.
Yeah, she's got the like necromantic stuff packed into her because of her Greek mythology. Isis doesn't really have much of that. You know, her only relationship to the underworld and dead is that she's married to Osiris.
Right. I mean, initially Hecate was associated with the sea, right? You know, and the stars, like for shipfarers. But then she morphed into what she's known for today, which is more of a recent, not recent in our time, but more recent in the history as to like
the historical record. I think when we traced her chthonic necromantic associations, we found it in the 3rd century in Egypt, the 3rd century AD in the PGM. That's when we first started seeing magicians working with, at least when we were looking for it. The first magicians that were working with her in a necromantic chthonic capacity were in the PGM, which is around the 3rd century in Egypt. But before that, she would have the underworld association through the myth of Persephone.
Right. Yeah. Yes, because she helps Demeter get her daughter back. But we did a whole episode on Hecate. If you go check that out, that we did drop a lot of like historical research and stuff in that episode. So you might want to check that out. But tonight, I would say it's her night. It's always November 16th. And it is, I know for me, I will be doing rededication. I'm probably going to drag Abammon into it. And we did something last night also. But for ancestor work, great. Super effective. If you ever want to do that.
For magicians, it would be a good thing to find if Hecate or Isis were real people.
Funny that you say that, because there are rumors out there in the ancient world that Hecate was a real person, like a real deity. Like there's temples that were found. Where was it? And how do you say it?
Lagina?
Yeah, that.
In Turkey?
I always say it wrong. But we don't know. You know, but sure. I mean, she's an embodiment of a lot of traits, right? So I'm positive when I say someone like that has existed in this world at some point or another. So her name may not have been Hecate, but that's the name we give it now, right? So, and everybody, you know, like anything that we look to like this, I think is real because we create, it's like a egregore, right? It's like it becomes real after a long enough period of time and people believing it as truth. So
I honestly think that's why Hecate is so powerful right now. I think if we were in the 19th century, 19th century was like ISIS. Everybody was obsessed with ISIS, right?
yeah,
Because of Egyptomania. And I think maybe ISIS was more responsive then because most occultists used ISIS as their divine feminine. I think today it's Hecate, and I think that's lends to a large part of why her synchronicities seem to be so blatant and she seems to be so responsive is because a lot of magicians today work with her.
I don't know. I've been working with her for so long. It's like crazy now to see that people are on the bandwagon with it. It's like, because there's this fear around her, right? A lot of people say she's like evil, demonic, etc. because of her chthonic, associations. That's not true. This is another fear-mongering tactic, I believe. So.
Can you channel her if
all the time
is a real person through a medium?
I mean, that's whenever you work with, like, all the time, like, yeah, like she's.
So this is
like, I don't know how even to say that.
Yeah. So if you look at tribal practices, possession, trance, and trance dancing, we live in the American Southwest, and the American Southwestern Indians, specifically the Hopi Kachina dancers, are famous for being possessed by god forms. You can see this. This is supposed to be what's happening within theurgy, and you'll see this in very, very early ancient Egyptian religion. This is Egyptian religion before Hellenization. We're talking about the earliest Egyptian religion. We have to understand that the Egyptian religion is a system. It spans over 3,000 years, and it started as a tribal religion, right? So a lot of the same mysteries that you see in tribal religion are in the Egyptian religion, but because it lasted for 3,000 years, it got systematized and kind of made into this massive, complex kind of rituals, right? But in the process of theurgy, when you're identifying with the god form, right, you're trying to get possessed by the god form. In the East, there's a practice known as deity yoga, which is basically the same kind of thing where you are identifying with the god form, letting the god form into your body. I say god form just a god form is from chaos magic, and that's more of an egregore. I just use the word god form like if you're a polytheist, they're just gods, but you can get possessed by them. It's a very pervasive practice all over the world, and it goes into the most tribal and animistic aspects of religion.
Right.
So
I mean, yeah, like I have a recording actually, right, of a ritual that I did with my group of girlfriends back in June. We always, every year we go camping in June and we do this ritual, right? And otherwise we don't really see each other do magic together at all, but we do this one time every year. And this year we did it and there was like 20 of us, and it was a much bigger group than usual. But I had thought maybe I caught some. I always go look at my videos afterwards to see if I see anything that I wasn't aware of at the time, just because I'm weird like that. What I was not expecting to find in this video was crazy. Like, I watched as soon as I started the ritual out and invoked Hecate, and as soon as my friend Stephanie started to speak, in the camera was in a tree, like just sitting in a tree, looking over and filming. And what happened, Abammon? What happens on that tape?
Yeah, you just hear it's like a bunch of chanting that comes out of the wind. It's really
like freaking
in
nuts.
A different language.
It's in a different language.
Yeah.
It is, and it comes in like you can't miss it. And we were in the woods about half a mile at least away from the nearest road. We were completely isolated by ourselves, and there's just this crazy like rush of wind sound, and then voices in that wind that are saying things in a foreign language. It was freaking bananas, and I have it. It's on my YouTube channel, and it's all, I think, on my TikTok too. So yeah. I can link it in the chat after this if you want to check it out. So it's like right in the. I clipped it to where it's like you don't have to watch long of it to see it.
So I think with deity, you're talking about like, if you're channeling deity, like this is a practice. This is where I identify with the god form, invite it in, but you have to make yourself into the god form in order for you to be an acceptable vessel.
Right.
You're talking about a normal mediumship kind of seance or spirit conjuration. It's the gods, they decide when they come to you. You don't get to decide when they
Right.
speak to you, right? So me and Dr. Stone have had experiences within mediumship where a deity has presented itself, and when that happens, it's random. We didn't call on the we're in the middle of communicating with another spirit, and then the deity steps in, and it most of the time it doesn't speak. It just makes its presence known and shuts down the conjuration, boots all the spirits out, and that kind of thing. It's not like the deities come to you. They don't really need you. You know, you kind of need them. And so having like the most regular way to channel a medium is the practice of theurgy or deity yoga, or the tribal cultures where they dress up like the deity and they get into a state of ecstasy and try to assume the deity. That's gonna be like the method that you use if you want that channeling experience with the deity.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it right now. I just found it. I'm gonna post it in the chat right now. So you guys hang on. It's only I clipped it to just 31 seconds. It's right before and then during, and then you don't see the end of it, but at the end, one of the girls that was there said, "I heard voices. Like I was hearing voices," and I heard her say that in real time, but I thought she was making it up. Like, to be honest, I thought she was being dramatic. But then I checked the video when I got home a couple days later, and I was like, oh my God, it's like, it's really here. So here, let me post it right now in the chat. Boom. Okay, so you guys should have that now. And it's 31 seconds, so, just, you'll hear it. If you don't hear it, I don't know what's wrong with you. You don't even need headphones, do you? You don't need headphones, right?
No, you can hear it. Yeah. No.
So I would love to know your thoughts on it. And if anyone knows what the heck it's saying, that would be awesome too, because we still don't know.
Yeah, we tried to figure out what it was saying. We couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, at all.
Very, very strange. I usually try to debunk her recordings, and I couldn't do it. I was just like, no, you caught something really
I'm always
strange
finding
here.
evidence of ghosts. And he's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
That's just the house settling or whatever. Because I'm a hyper reactive to things like that. I've had some experiences that have scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, no, she gets stuff, but like my mindset is I want to believe, so I'm going to do everything I can to debunk something before I accept it as
same. Like that's like, and that's
true.
why I hand it to you, because I'm like, am I crazy right now? Like, am I making this into something? It's not like, but he couldn't figure it out. And even my coworker, who's an audio engineer, also, he heard it and he was like, I don't believe in any of this stuff, but I have no idea what the hell this is.
Yeah, in that experience though, I mean, you're looking at the same kind of principle. Like, there wasn't an intention of having this happening. It happened because
we called it.
Yeah, you called it, and the deity was like, okay, I'm gonna express myself, I'm gonna make myself known, or whatever. And that's basically all you can do with deity. So when you're working with deity, doing these kind of assumptions, what you're really trying to do in order to channel it or get something from it, communicate from it, is you're trying to incubate the experience. And so you're, taking on a lot of, ascetic practices and spending a lot of time with it, trying to make your mind, like all the material that you're consuming has to do with the deity, and you're trying to prime yourself for the experience, and then the deity basically chooses when it's going to happen.
I just posted is it not in there?
I don't see it.
What the heck? I just posted it. Well, let me do it again. Hang on. Why is it not letting me post it? What the heck? Can I not post links in the chat? Is it not? See, I just posted it again.
No, it's not.
It's not letting me. Okay, so if you go to my channel, see, it's Stone Esoteric, and it says like ritual. Actually, what is the title of it? Let me see. Oh, I know. Let me see. Why is it? Can you post it in the chat?
Let me
Here,
see.
let me text it to you.
No, don't text it to me.
Okay. Sorry, that's so weird. I guess it's not letting. I guess I can't share links in the chat, which is strange. But I will, hang on, we're going to try to fix that, because I really want other people to hear it. Like, I really need, I would be really grateful for other people's opinions on it, because I don't know what it is, other than it came right when we called it, which is kind of weird. in my opinion. But let me see what the name of it is. The videos. It's called. It's called Voices at the Ritual. That's what it's called.
Voices at the Ritual.
Let's see. Voices at the Ritual, 62825, Los Osos, California. That's the name of it. Let me see. Is it? Let me make sure that it's. Is it available to make sure the privacy settings aren't weird on it? Can you see it? It was unlisted shit. Okay, hang on. Let me fix that. That's why it's not letting you see it, because it's unlisted. Why is it unlisted? Let me list it. See. Edit. Okay, hang on. I'm editing it so that it is public. There we go. I don't know. Why did I have it set to... Okay, save. Okay, let me do it again. Let me see if it'll work now. Okay, let's see if this works this time. It's now public. I guess I had it on private. Strange. Let's see. Okay, back. All right, let's try it again. What the heck? Okay, here I'm gonna put it in the chat again. See if this works this time. Did it work that time?
No, it didn't.
Still didn't work. What the hell? Well, it's called Voices at the Ritual. It's on my channel. It's public now.
Your channel's Stone Esoteric, right?
Yes. Okay. Stone Esoteric is the name of the channel.
I'll post that in the chat.
Yeah. Can you... Oh, damn it. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see.
All right, it's updated. In the description, I have a link to your channel.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's Stone Esoteric. It's,
Oh, there it is. I see it.
Is it in the...
Yeah.
Can you post it in the chat?
I'll post it in the description.
Okay, so in the description right now, it's going to be... He's posting it in a second. You guys will see it. So he's updating it. Did you hit update?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jose, Culinary Arts Abammon. Yeah. I used to be a chef.
Yes,
I guess that's exposed now.
Yeah.
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 Exposed.
Did you hear it, teacher? Did you? Tasher. Sorry, I can't read. My eyes are bad. Could you hear it? Did you check it out? I don't know. I'm all about spooky.
Yes.
How was your culinary? Oh yeah. Did you hear it, right? Like, am I crazy, or it's there? Like, I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's very prominent. I don't know if you guys played Skyrim, but it reminds me of when you enter into a witch's cave in Skyrim and you can hear them chanting in the weird language. It sounds exactly like that.
I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's a video game.
It is a video game.
Okay,
It's a great video game. It's like the most relaxing video game ever made.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it was crazy, and I wasn't even looking for it. I was looking for something visual, actually, and then I came across that. So
it sounds like bleed over from another audio channel. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I tried dissecting it, doing some forensic audio editing, and I wasn't able to extract it because I really wanted to figure out what it was saying. I tried to send it to some Hellenic reconstructionists, and they couldn't figure out what it was saying, but those guys are usually LARPers anyways, so.
But I have a coworker whose wife is Greek, and so I was like, just on the off chance, like, does this sound like anything? And no, we did it in the day. At night, it would be, we had a hike in, like, if you can see where we are, we're in this really cool place in Los Osos. It's like, literally, there's like a path, and then the path ends, and then there's like a big bushes, and you crawl into the bushes, like literally, and then it's like this open space, and you're like encompassed in all of these trees, and it's really, I don't know, it feels really different in there. I don't know what it is about that spot, but we go every year, and there's like nobody else around, like, at all. like we're weirdos walking around in our white dresses. Like,
Yeah, that's
like we look like a cult. Like
yeah.
we're going to go
I
do
think
some weird shit in the woods.
one of the things I always recommend is if you're working with deity to go find a spot out in nature that participates in all the qualities of the deity. And I like doing night workings.
We did in
yeah.
Sedona. Like we went.
And I like doing
crazy
night
too.
workings because it adds to kind of like the anxiety and like the mystery
Yeah.
of the unknown or whatever. But if you're doing deity, finding a location and then keep working with that deity at that exact same location, and it kind of charges the area, and the deity kind of becomes present in it. And this is one of the tools that chaos magicians use with egregores. They call it like a geographic node. When they're trying to form an egregore, they'll have certain geographic locations where they keep doing the same work with the egregore in order to make the egregore apparent.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tie it to the land, but you do it with deity. It works really, really well. I always recommend people like go out in the middle of the night, find a isolated place, and work with the deity there, and you're gonna have some awesome experiences.
I'm so what was I saying? I love it. Yeah, it is crazy. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, you got to come listen to this. And he's like, what now? Like what other thing am I gonna debunk right now? And then surprisingly, I was like watching waiting for his reaction, and I saw it, and I was like, wow.
Do you see floating balls? Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I see the matrix, the code and everything. I don't know if you guys can see. If anyone can see that, I would love to hear. But I can sometimes see like I don't know, it's like a mesh of stuff. Like it's like hieroglyphics kind of, but not like that just run through the background of everything sometimes.
I always notice if you watch some like of the earliest episodes that me and Dr. Stone did, I was doing this thing where I was specifically not banishing because I was trying to accumulate as many spirits
Crazy.
as possible.
Crazy.
And the place was very there was a lot of stuff there, a ton of stuff, and you can see the orbs, and I feel like I notice the orbs the most when there's a lot when the place is unclean, basically when it's not clinical, when like basically everything's allowed to hang
mess.
out. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the vibe usually isn't the best when I see the orbs, like
It's like the residuals.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys are hearing it. It makes me feel less crazy. I appreciate this so much. Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, like, can you imagine how many people are calling on her at any given moment? The fact that I feel like, I mean, to me, that was, I don't want to presume, but I would think that was her showing up, right? Like, that's my feel on it. And it was really, like, crazy, but it did scare the shit out of some of the women that were in that.
Yeah.
And I knew that they were going to be scared. I didn't know why they were going to be scared, but I had tried to tell them ahead of time because they were like, some of them were very new, very green. And like, I didn't think they would do well in this, but they said, okay, let's do it. And then they freaked the hell out.
Mesh like the high priestess on the Thoth tarot. Are you talking about her veil?
No, I'm talking about the mesh I see, like,
I'm talking about Jose.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's like almost like a binary code kind of thing almost. And I can only see it occasionally, not all the time, but there's that guy on TikTok named Danny Goler who figured out a way to see it at any time with a refractive light laser. And if you go look at his videos, he shows it running in the background of everything. It's really crazy. That's why I believe that we're in a simulation. I do think so sometimes. It's kind of hard to not, after you see that stuff. It's like the space in between things is not empty, Like sometimes you can see it. What it is, I don't know, but, so I know, I'm so glad you guys could hear this voice though, or voices, right? It's like multiple voices. I can't really tell, but it sounds like it's echo. It's like
Allison Gray.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You're the second person that said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard, like, so I'm not familiar, right? I wasn't familiar until I heard that, and then I went and looked, and I was like, close, yeah, close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one of the things that I first thought, right? Like totally the wind thing. However, looking into it more, it requires a temperature differential of being at around 40 degrees or lower for that to happen. So when I found that, and the person that told me that was my coworker who doesn't believe in any of this stuff. And that's what he said. He's like, the only thing I could think of is that it could be on the wind, but what was the temperature that day? And I was like, I don't know, it was like 70 degrees, because it's June. And he's like, yeah, so that it wouldn't work that way. So he was like, dang it, I thought I had something, because he was really trying to disprove it.
Dogs barking and howling are a huge thing.
Yeah, so that lady sees the mesh also. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. Again, it's only certain times and it's certain like lighting, I guess, but it's kind of crazy. I thought I had something wrong with my eyes, which I do. Full disclosure, obviously I have something wrong with my eyes because I am blind. But, yeah, dogs barking and howling are a huge thing for me. Yeah, I don't know what was in that sound, but there's a lot of stuff going on, I feel like. Yeah. But if you guys don't have any other questions, are we good?
Yeah, I think if you guys have anything for Psychic Hour, ask right now. Otherwise, we're going to close out the service. We really enjoy seeing you guys every week, doing this every week with you guys. We're going to slowly move into synchronizing our rituals together, really ironing it out. I'm starting to compile PDFs so you guys have like steps to go through the rituals at the same time, and we're looking at getting some personal talismans made for us to wear together when we do this.
Yeah.
Vosis Magic. Yeah, we really appreciate it. We're really glad we found you guys. It's such a special thing that we've all kind of like found each other. And we get to like work together and do this together. So
yeah, we appreciate you guys so much, and we look forward to this like every Sunday. Definitely. I know Abammon's doing his charts like all week long. It's so awesome.
I was doing I started I think like 2 years ago. I made a talismanic astrological chart.
You did. I have a video of you doing it.
Plotting it every single morning, and now I'm like, oh, okay, now I guess I was doing that for a reason, so I could do these services. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
We really appreciate it. May go with the sun for the rest of the week. Remember to hold on to the actualization of your magicianhood, your magishood, right? What that means about your eternal nature, what it means about your soul, getting through this initiation season. Let's go into Sagittarius. I'm so excited for the winter.
Yes.
Winter is such a nice time. So
yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week, right?
See you next week. Yes.
Yay. And don't forget, do something for Hecate's night if that's your vibe, because tonight's the night.
Say sometime look for the shop. Do you have a shop? You, Dr. Stone.
Abammon has a shop.
Yeah.
Abammon has a shop. I make candles, like magic candles at home here. I don't buy candles anymore for big ritual stuff. I just make them, but I don't really make other things besides lots of other arts and crafts that you guys wouldn't be interested in. Let me tell you that. But, because I'm